We're here in Las Vegas. First off, what brings you to town? Tell me about it.
Well, what brings me to town is if I'm here for work. I'm here for business.
Okay.
You know, I got Tomás Delorme fighting on the card.
Okay.
I've been training Tomás Delorme for the past couple months. We were supposed to put a plan together for Sean Porter, but unfortunately Sean Porter pulled out of the fight, so now we're here and we got another opponent in front of us that we got to take care of.
Okay. Tomás Delorme, you've worked with so many fighters. What's it like taking in a new fighter, you know? What's it like working with Tomás?
Well, I'm a trainer, you know, and I'm going to keep bringing in fighters. They're going to be coming to me. Working with Tomás Delorme, it's a great experience. Getting to know another fighter with a lot of potential. I mean, a lot of power, good boxing ability, and you know, just being part of his team is a great experience. Teaching him things that he needs to improve on, so that he can perform.
Got you. He's facing Yordenis Ugas, Cuban fighter who's on a really good run. Are you familiar with him?
Yes, I've seen a few of his fights, and you know, we're here to execute whatever he's got in mind.
Got you. Tim Bradley retired. Did you notice it? I mean, what do you think about it? You guys had such a great run together.
Tim Bradley, well, you know, I seen that coming. I seen that coming, because Bradley after his fight with Ruslan Provodnikov, physically he was no longer the same. You know, Ruslan did some damage to him, and after that I started noticing a lot of little things on Bradley. You know, his ability wasn't all there. He had a tough fight, and that fight really took a lot out of him. And you know, I don't blame him. He did his thing. He retired. Happy for him. He's doing good outside the ring, and you know, wish him all the best. You know, he had a great run.
Got you. Here, Floyd Mayweather is facing Conor McGregor. Everybody's talking about it. What are your thoughts?
Well, come on. I mean, let's be honest. Let's be honest. This fight is a Mayweather show. This is a Mayweather party. You know, Mayweather's having a party in his backyard, and it's on his favor. I mean, anything can happen in a fight. Anything can happen in the ring. But Floyd Mayweather is a businessman. I just think he's too smart. He has a lot of pride, and he's a very smart person. As a businessman, he knows everything's on his side, and he will not make a move if it's not in his favor.
Okay, talking about being a trainer, people forget, man, you was a former world title challenger. You know, fought Philip Holiday, was it? Or
yeah.
Okay, what's the two differences? Fighting, being a trainer. Tell me.
Well, it's two different worlds, man. Being a trainer, obviously you have a lot more in mind. You stress more because you always have to be thinking about your fighters. You have to have a preparation put together. You always have to be, you know, in the gym, working maybe twice, 3 times as hard as when you're a fighter. Being a fighter, you just focus on one thing: training and the opponent. And now, as a trainer, man, you have to focus on on your whole stable. And sometimes your stable becomes 5, 10 fighters, you know, at the time, and you have to spread it all out. And when you're a fighter, you just focus on one and just train for one person, and that's it. Now I'm training a lot of fighters. Is
it hard adapting to fighters coming, leaving, if you know, like managing the butting? Hey, I'm sure you are. Not gonna say argue, but you gotta see eye to eye on things. I mean, is it tough?
It is at first, but obviously with time you get used to it. It's like everything, you know. You get better at things the more you do it, and the more I do this, you know, you sort of tend to coordinate your job. I coordinate my job really well. I have a team, you know, my brother Antonio and some members of my team, they help me a lot. So, you know, we got our program going. We got a great training facility. We have a great training program. We prepare every fighter. I do everything myself. I don't need no strength and conditioning coaches. None of that type of bullshit.
Why not?
I do everything myself.
You don't believe in the strength?
You know what? I don't believe in the strength and conditioning coach that goes by the books, that goes online and starts, you know, or goes to school for strength and conditioning. You know, I believe that a good strength and conditioning coach coach is the one that really lived the sport, especially boxing. You can be a good conditioning coach for other sports, for soccer, baseball, whatever. But when it comes to boxing, you have to live boxing. You have to live boxing to know what helps. For example, when I was fighting myself back in the days, you know, I tried different methods, and I still remember which one worked best, you know, and I stick to that because it helped me. It worked for me. So now I bring it into my fighters. But I lived it. I lived it. I don't go by bands. I don't go by none of that bullshit, because sometimes it works against you. I've seen a lot of fighters that hire strength and conditioning coaches, and you know, and these conditioning coaches try to show what they got, what they're capable of, and they overdo it. They overdo it, and it works against you. You know, I just think that you stick to boxing, do your boxing conditioning, your boxing workouts, and you're good. You know, you perform at your best.
Best of luck to you.